Hi, gorgeous.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
I'm actually in LA right now.
Oh, cool. I'm in New York because if I was in LA, I would try to make that happen in person. But what
Next time in New York City, I freaking love New York City. Garrett and I were supposed to move there right after the show and everything, but
you were?
in life, yeah, we both have like completely remote jobs, and I love New York City, and we are gonna do like digital nomading, and New York City was gonna be our first stop, but it's kind of aggressive, and maybe one day, but
What
shortly
what
after
what
getting married.
overwhelmed you? What overwhelmed you about New York? What scared you away?
Not, no, not me. But
Garrett got
Garrett's,
overwhelmed?
yeah, and he has like two businesses and like works full time and like hasn't lived away from home. So like we're moving like one foot in front of the other.
So where are you guys right now?
We're in Fredericksburg, which is a small town, not that small, but out like an hour outside DC, where he's from.
Okay, and the plan is San Diego at some point, right?
Not anymore. We're
Oh, that huge conversation shifted? What?
Yeah, so we are planning on DC next. I'd been there for 5 years and was kind of just ready to be closer to my parents and like find a partner that I could raise kids with. But DC's really great for me for like job wise. And I also think living on the East Coast is just really, really fun and different. But as Garrett spent more time away from home this year, it just San Diego was kind of too much of a shock, I think, across the country. But we go back super often, and no one like who's to say what could happen in the next 5 years. So we're just taking it one step at a time.
So you're more like go with the flow, can move like states, like it's not as hard for you.
No, it's not as hard. I've always kind of been someone that like just exists in space, and my friends are like, I we never really know where in the world you are. And I was like, I barely sometimes know. So
Yeah,
I'm
because even
very
your
fluid.
apartment that we're like boop, like if you like sometimes you're watching Love is Blind, you're like on your phone for a second, you look back up, you're like, wait, does she live here? Oh, she comes here sometimes. It's her friends downstairs. What? Like at first I thought we were gonna see but you were in that apartment only when you were in town, or what was that?
Yeah, actually, it's this will make more sense, but like I was a corporate girly. I had my own like really nice luxury apartment with like a pool, a gym, and like was like aesthetically put together. And then after like I was ready to kind of move back to San Diego, and then the show came up, and I was like, well, like this maybe can be my last hurrah of living in DC, but like I don't like I need maybe somewhere that's an in-between spot and was also doing a lot of traveling. So my friend owned a home in DC that had like a basement apartment area. She usually rents it out or Airbnbs it, but she let me just like do it from month to month. And so that's why it looks like a bachelor den, and like she has like a storage room and stuff like that. So it was like I look like a weirdo like with
It doesn't add
the
up.
living
You don't look like a weirdo. It doesn't add up for you, right? Because like when we
yeah.
see you, you're the most like put together person. You're like type A. And then we're like, why are there solo cups? Like the solo cups, we deserve an explanation.
So my friend would throw a lot of parties down there, and so like I used to like attend the parties obviously, but then living there, it like was so different, and so like it was never like it became something that was just too overwhelming for me, being someone that like needs my own space and I need things. You're right, like I'm a very like specific person and like liking things put together and clean and like my own. But that was kind of the trade-off that I had, like keeping like renting the space flexibly from her.
Okay, let's backtrack. As everyone that follows me knows and is listening from the beginning, I was like, this Taylor, like, oh my God. I think I even said, like,
Aw.
wanna be her, obsessed, like, just everything about you is like just glamorous without trying. You're so
Aw,
smart. You're so
thank
on it.
you.
You're so beautiful, hyping you up to the galore, gazoo. Um, and I was like, wow, like it was so refreshing to see somebody like you on reality TV. I'm sure
Thank you.
you get that, right? Like when you decide to do the show where people around you like concerned, weirded out? Did it not align with who you are?
Um, yes and no. So I'm not, I don't think a person that's like disparaging on other people at all. And so I was like, maybe reality show, like in my mind, I just thought that it's like you're more interesting the more you kind of like stir shit up and cause drama. And so I thought I was like even in the pods, Garrett and I were kind of sitting there after we got engaged, and I knew there's only like people kept telling me only 5 couples go on to Cabo, and I was like, okay, well, you and I are going home, babe. Like we're super boring, and so to to thinking that like that's why I didn't think I was going to do necessarily well, but I thought it was interesting, and my friends are they know me as a person that's always like trying out new things and being open-minded and putting myself out there, and like dating was something that I kind of like found to be super fun and I've always been really open about. And so for that reason of like Love is Blind, I think it aligned well. And like I actually only applied because I had like friends encouraged me to apply because they were recruiting heavy in DC. And by like the fourth or fifth person that are like, you should apply, I was like, I don't know if I should be like offended that you guys think that I need to like date blindly to find someone, but like
So why
I'll
do you
try anything
think, but
twice.
why do you think because are most of your friends like in relationships and you're like the single one? Like why was everyone telling you to do this?
No, I don't. Most of my friends actually aren't in relationships. Like I'm hilariously the first person to get married in like my friend group.
You're 29, right? Or are you 30 yet?
I'm now 30, yeah.
Congratulations. 30 is so
Thank you.
fun.
It's great. It's just a better finance, more well thought out 20s.
Love that. But you are very like, you seem very together. Are we missing something? Like, obviously, we know you party now. Like, you can get down, you're saying. Like, before,
I like a good party for sure.
you like a good party. The fact that you're into like molecules and what's the tattoo?
It's a little hydrogen molecule. So that's like a diatomic molecule, which means like two hydrogen atoms together, which is like the clean energy technology that is my field of expertise and I did my master's thesis in. So
Wow. Wait, and Garrett doesn't have that tattoo, but he has like another
he
something.
has a physics equation, which is the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which is something that like is a fundamental theory in physics, where it's like basically you can't know where it's called a wave-like particle, but something that exists in space and time, like you can't know how fast it's going and where exactly it is at the same time. Like that's what the uncertainty principle is. And so that was really cool. I was like, did you tell them that like you had that equation, like that tattoo? And he was like, he was like, no, I did it. And I was like, I don't think I told them about my hydrogen tattoo. So that's just like even
So
weirder
both
that
of
we
you
both
are
had it.
in the science fields.
Yes, both in science field. Garrett's more in the like he works for a company that builds quantum computers, which like don't ask, I don't he's explained it to me like 10 times. And then I, I work in more of like policy that helps clean energy technologies become more commercialized.
Oh, that's cool. And you said also he has another company, no? Like his own company, you mentioned.
He owns two other businesses. Yeah.
Two other businesses. Okay, so Garrett's doing well. Garrett's doing well.
He's a very smart and driven person, and I that's one regret from like not regret but something I wish was a little different from the show. Like I don't feel like people got to know him as well. um and he's like I just feel like Ken and I was like I sometimes, but he's very put together
Oh,
too and very
he felt like he didn't his personality didn't come through.
right, and I agree with that. I feel
I
like
think
it
I
a
even
little
made the
bit.
mistake because I remember, like I said at the beginning, I was so like into you, right? And then I see your dates with Garrett and you're so into it. And I'm like, she's so cool. He's a little bit of a nerd. I don't understand. But I actually quickly took it back. A couple episodes later, I was like, I completely take it back. Like he's definitely deserving of her and they're so cute together. So you're right. People that are not as observant as I am could have made the mistake and not gotten with it. But it took me like a couple episodes to learn like, no, no, no. Like he's he's good. He's good for her, and he's a good catch. Then now we can't say that anymore. We
Yeah,
can't say it.
he's smart and like has very, I think, interesting interests and like supports me and is kind
First
and
of all, I
that's all
love
you can ask
that.
for.
Listen, the fishing, like now I'm like disappointed that my husband doesn't have like more interesting hobbies because first of all, a hobby is such a cool thing to have. Like I don't really have one, but like catching these fucking huge fish and that being something you're so passionate about, aside from your job where you make money and everything, and aside from your wife, it's such a cool thing that really like enriches your life.
Yeah, and I love boats and sushi, so this is like a perfect
Wait,
win-win
has he
scenario.
made you sushi from any of the fish?
Yeah, like nice ass sashimi, which is is expensive. And like we have a freezer full of like high quality, natural, awesome fish at all times.
So you kind of have to live somewhere where he could go fishing, which isn't New York. Like that's not happening in the Hudson River, you know?
I would hope not. But apparently there are places like in New Jersey that you can go spearfishing
Mm,
and like I mean San Diego has a lot of fishing. So I'm
see.
hopeful to maybe find
Yeah.
some fishermen that I could beg to befriend us.
Um, Garrett's glow up, which obviously took the internet by storm. Is he not into talking about it? You guys were kind of like, obviously, nobody's saying Garrett wasn't good looking before. He was, but there was a change of like the hair and the fits. That's more of it, right? It's like his hair got long, and maybe because what everyone was saying, like, wait, Garrett's dressing so much better, like he's still married. That's what the vibe was on social media. Everyone kind of knew you guys were together because he was dressing so well.
Isn't that funny? Because I just like for girls, we always have breakup glow ups. So I was like, in my mind, I was like, it could go either way. But I guess like for most of my exes, like they look worse after for sure. So I'm just kidding. But for Garrett, like he actually has a very like um I think more robust taste in fashion than I do. Like in the pods, I told him I had just gone to New York Fashion Week and like just as like a friend, a guest, and he was like, "That's so cool! Like I would love to go." And I was like, "Really?" And then he like started talking about the clothes that he had has bought or like had with him that are very detailed and like higher quality. And talked about like this one jacket for like 20 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, like we could have talked about. But anyway, like I thought it was endearing and cute. And then like this past September, he got invited to model in New York Fashion
How
Week.
did
So
that
it's like,
happen?
um, he has bought a couple pieces from a designer who is actually based in San Diego and like worked with him and he needed models for New York Fashion Week and had reached out to Garrett and he was like, we were like, hell yeah, let's go. And so went up to New York City and he did it. And that's where a lot of the like glow up
Pictures are
content
from.
is.
Right.
And he looks freaking hot. Like he looks great. Like he looks like a model.
Did
So
you have anything to do with him growing out his hair? Or was that him?
no, it was all him. He's didn't really like his hair before and like it's something that he always wanted to kind of work on, but he didn't really have a reason to. He was more focused on, I think, his businesses and spearfishing and like opportunities that would look better. So I'm very supportive. I'm never going to tell him how to look or what to do or what to wear. Like he would never do that for me. So I'm glad that he's excited about like stepping more into like how he looks and feeling really good.
Well, I think also people thought that it was you because your fashion sense was so good and we loved your fits in the pod. Like, did you plan those out before? Like, did you have any help? Like, what was the vibe?
Um, so I did plan them out before because I am a type A person and they send you this deck of the like a packing list essentially. And if you matrix all the things that they're asking for, it's like 30 different outfits. And I was like, how am I going to fit this into like three suitcases? And so you kind of have to be diligent about like what you pick and choose. There's some people that probably just like didn't, but I'm not that kind of person to not be as prepared as possible. So I did my styling thing, and I come from science. Like I don't really get to try this kind of stuff. And my friend who brought me to New York Fashion Week, she was like, "Yeah, this is how you do it. Like you put on the clothes, try it, like get out your phone, look at it on camera. It's going to be so different than when you like look in a mirror, and you're going to feel a lot more prepared and confident going into it if you're ready." So that's what I did.
And did she help you, or did you kind of pick all of your own outfits?
I mostly picked all of my own outfits. Like I think I had a spreadsheet and like a budget because I was like, there's no way I'm spending over like $1,000 for this stuff. And like I'm like intimately familiar with like Zara and H&M of like September 2023. Like
Listen, you
that
guys,
collection.
H&M can surprise you. I'll just put it that way. I know that everyone hypes Zara, but like check out H&M sometimes. Like there could be a blazer, there could be like a pair of slacks. Like it's there for you if you need it.
For sure. I think they have I honestly there's a lot of things from my closet that are H&M, and I completely wholeheartedly agree.
You guys, I'm a bar girly, and I found IQ Bar and I posted them the other week because they're also available on Amazon and they're so good and they're plant-based and the ingredients are so good. I really, really love it. You guys should really check out the Ultimate Sampler Pack. It's a great way to enjoy all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 7 IQ bars, 4 IQ mix sticks, that's like electrolytes, and also 4 IQ Joe sticks, which are like an instant coffee situation. All IQ bar products are free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial sweeteners. So that's why I love this snack. It has more fiber, less sugar and carbs than the alternatives. I'm obsessed with their flavors. I really love the banana nut. They also have a mint chocolate chip, chocolate sea salt, toasted coconut chip, really good too, peanut butter chip, and more. I highly recommend this bar. I'm actually obsessed, and you can take my word for it. They also have a limited pumpkin spice one for the IQ Joes, over 15,000 five-star reviews and counting. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, all you have to do is text not skinny to 64,000. Text not skinny to 64,000. That's not skinny to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. Have you guys heard about Magnetic Me? Let me tell you, because I know I posted a little bit ago about this onesie that Lenny had that had buttons. Okay. And I was like, who makes onesies for babies with buttons? How am I buttoning that in the middle of the night when I'm changing them? Now, let me tell you what Magnetic Me has, because Magnetic Me clothing have magnetic closures. So you don't even have to zip. It makes dressing time so quick, so easy. You need to try these for your own kids or buy it as a gift for your friends and just be like, you're welcome. Made your life so much easier. No, I've literally been recommending Magnetic Me to everyone. Their prints are so cute. Like the PJs are so perfect as is, so soft, so comfortable, such cute prints. I love that Magnetic Me went the extra mile to make sure their clothes are safe for our little ones and their magnets are sewn in a way that makes it impossible for them to remove. They have such a variety of prints and they also have matching parent and kid outfits. I even have my own pajama set from Magnetic Me. I actually posted it the other week. It's like baby blue and so adorable. Do what I did and make changing time easier for you and your baby so you can spend more time on things you love. Order Magnetic Me today for yourself or as a gift for any parent. Go to magneticme.com. New customers will get 15% off their first order. Don't wait. That's magneticme.com. Taking a probiotic is one of the most important things you can do because your gut is literally the second brain of the body. Almost everybody has some sort of stomach issues going to the bathroom, that could really weigh you down. Certain foods make you not feel good, being bloated. And that's why I highly recommend taking the CDSO1. It's formulated with 24 clinically and scientifically studied strains, and it supports whole body benefits, including gut health, skin health, heart health, immune health, gut barrier integrity, gut microbiome balance, and micronutrient synthesis. It's only 2 capsules a day, and you really want to make sure that you are taking care of your gut. Just so you know, Seed is loved by their members. 81% of members feel less sluggish after meals after starting DSO1. Give yourself the gift of benefits in and beyond your gut by taking a probiotic plus prebiotic. It's easy to incorporate into your routine. 2 capsules a day, no refrigeration required like a lot of other probiotic and prebiotics. I always make sure to take my Seed DSO1 because my gut has had times where it's really bad, but it's doing okay right now. Get ahead of the new year with a routine that helps you now by going to seed.com/skinny and use code 25skinny to get 25% off your first month. You can get 25% off your first month of Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic at seed.com/skinny and the code 25skinny.
Tell me about the reunion. I feel like, did you take more of a back seat because you guys are good and it's like, okay, let everybody kind of air out all the drama and we're doing well?
I think I just didn't really have too much to say, to be completely honest. Like during the experiment, Garrett and I like both became friends with like people on like me, the girls, and him with the guys. But I kind of really kept to myself. Like I just kind of stayed in my lane. So when people like were airing out their stuff, like I didn't actually really have too much to like kind of contribute. And um it's I just kind of wanted to like stay out of it. Again, like it speaks to me thinking that I was going to be the worst reality television show person ever because I was like I don't have anything to contribute, nor do I want to like kind of put myself in the middle of it.
So are you friends still with any of the girls or not really?
I'm still friends with all of the girls. I would get a like coffee or dinner with any of them. But I'm closest with Ashley, obviously, because we both like
Got
went
married.
like we were homies in the pods, and then obviously it evolved, and we both got married, and it's a different ball game.
Yeah. And she's also super smart. After I watched the reunion, I was like, she's so great. And then someone wrote, like, I wish I was as smart as her and as, patient and calm about the situation as her. I did notice that Garrett was getting kind of pissed during the reunion about the grenade conversation that went on for a long time about Hannah and Nick. Is that because he's close with Nick, or did he just feel like the conversation was like stooping too low?
I think he's actually just he's friends with Nick, and if that were my friend, and you kind of watch them get belittled over and over again, and like Hannah like didn't really say sorry out of the gate. She kind of doubled down. So I think for Garrett, it's like no matter what he called you in the beginning, like like for Garrett, he saw that Nick actually really fell in love with her and like was authentic about it from like there on out. So going back and trying to justify doing that, I think just really frustrated him. And like if that was my friend, I'd probably feel the same way.
Like you'd stick up for them. But he
Yeah.
did say that he like wanted to be famous out of the show. Like that would piss you off too, no?
Yeah, no, it's a giant red flag. Like I never thought I'd be defending Nick D. Like when we got to the end of this experiment, I'm not saying that he possibly didn't go in with like ulterior motives for sure, but from our experience on like once we were in the real world, like it seemed very genuine. But I don't know him very well, but that was Garrett's take on it.
I say. And about the fame thing, because listen, the fact that Nick wrote it down and that was aired out is one thing. The fact that we know that a lot of people do go on reality shows for a multitude of reasons, one of them being you can get some followers, you can get some internet fame. What was your kind of percentages like? Did you have any of that? Like, were you into that side of it at all, or was it just like the dating part?
So this is so bad because I actually did not know that Love is Blind was like a really big show before going on. Sorry, Netflix. It I thought it
You
was
didn't watch.
I watched it, but like when I was folding laundry and I thought it was kind of like this C-list reality show. Like, sorry, I know it's like number one on Netflix and it's like millions of people watch it, and it's like number one watch show of all time. It's crazy. I didn't know that. I'm glad I didn't know that, because I think I would have been probably too intimidated.
Mm.
But I think the experiment and the people, like, it's different than a dating show where it's like I am just judged by the way that I look in a bikini or something like that, that I would have probably like been too intimidated to do. And I think it's a lovely concept of like trying to get to know someone for the merits of them rather than all of these other things. And I'm a scientist at heart. I thought that it was an experiment, and
Mm.
just am a curious person. But yeah, I'm not going to lie that there like are quote unquote like opportunities that come from the show, but it wasn't top of mind going in at all for me. If anything, I thought like I was going to leave in the first couple of days. Like my parents were actually on a they're on a safari in South Africa that I was supposed to be in, and I was like, okay guys, like might meet you in South Africa in like a in probably a week. And then like they just didn't hear from me. And I obviously like had a producer telling them that I was continuing on, and I thought there was a 1% chance I was like actually going to meet someone, but I thought if anything I would like learn something about myself, make a lot of girlfriends. So the way that it turned out is just like it's still shocking in a lot of ways, but I'm really grateful for it.
So did you get, is it, I know I've watched so many seasons, I've talked to a lot of people. It's a for real marriage, the one that we're seeing on the show, or did you get for real married after?
No, we got real married like on the show. You go down to the courthouse, you fill out the paperwork, you work with our what is it called? The minister, the
Ordained?
officiant,
Okay.
like to fill out all the paperwork. And so it's for reals.
And would you ever, because you said like opportunities arise from this, would you, is it more of a side gigs? Would you ever leave like the world, the actual job that you have?
Well, I work in policy, particularly clean energy policy, and at a think tank. And so we have a really big week this next week in terms of
Mm.
like who sits in the White House. And like, I think that really does affect my day to day. And for me, no, I don't plan to just like quit my job next week to do like any opportunities that come from the show. I know I got married on reality television in a couple weeks, but I am someone that's a little bit more risk adverse in the job kind of thing where I put one foot in, and there are opportunities I think to like promote sustainable products that I'm and like do more creative things in fashion that like I got the chance to kind of experience than working at like the current place that I work. But I really like where I work. It's flexible. The people are great. It's mission driven work. So if there's something that can like replace that, that's just as fulfilling, I'm open to it, but I'd have to be proven otherwise.
I mean, did the people you work with, were they surprised at seeing you on reality TV? Did you give them a heads up?
I gave them a heads up, and they were surprised. They're like, you would do something like that? So like your sentiment about me being a put together person is shared professionally. And they thought, honestly, I work at a very nerdy place. The clean like climate and clean energy is also very niche. And so everyone was just very supportive and thrilled to see someone that works in that space like reflected on a national stage. Like it doesn't
Right.
happen often. So they were super supportive, and I'm excited to go back and like we can they don't really gossip about this kind of
You're like, you guys want the we you can get it.
stuff.
Are you guys gonna plan like a big wedding now? Is that in the cards?
So we went back to San Diego, like over the Christmas, like a couple months after we just got married, or like a month after we got married. And we're looking at wedding venues and, for like the West Coast fam, because we did one for the East Coast. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like trying to plan a wedding.
Like,
I need
give
to just
yourself a
like
second.
let me just like focus on, my new marriage, and like new like different parts of my life. And so we actually are excited to do that in like when it feels right and it's enjoyable, because um I'm I'm not sure like how your wedding played out, but like I've never met a bride that was like, that was great and not stressful. Like that was
Yeah, like give yourself a minute, and there's no rush, right? Like you are married and you could do the part. Are you really, I mean, because you've said it too, like you're a planned out person. Do you have a timeline on like the kid stuff and when you guys want to be settled down and living in a specific place?
I I mean, for me, I really did think 5 to 7 years of wanting to actually fully feel settled and enjoying like that this chapter of our marriage. I don't
5 to 7 years?
I'd be like 35,
No, it's a good
37.
age, but that's,
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
wasn't expecting that. It's a great age. I mean, I just had a kid, I'm 36. But I
That's
wasn't, for some reason I thought differently for you. I don't know why.
and maybe I might change my
Right.
mind. It was so not on my radar and I I also, as a woman, you do have to think about these things. Like we do have a biological clock that I've never like kind of figured out before. So hopefully that's a not a stressful journey. But if it's like, oh, actually, like these are the years that you'll have to like consider having kids, then like I would definitely expedite that 5 to 7 years. But
And
I
is
think for
Garrett
now,
on the
that's
same
my
page?
no. He would want them, I think, like way sooner.
Yeah, you might have to, at least you might have to start saying like 5 and not 5 to 7 to kind of ease, like chill him
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
But it's
that's a
also
good
fun. It's
point.
always funny when the guys are more into it because it's like, good, then do it, you know?
Yeah, and his friend group is all married. Some
Mm.
of them are on like their second or like third kid, and my friend group is like super different. So the people that are like representative of where you are in life, like that might it just is different for both of us. So we're kind of trying to find out what I think a happy medium is.
Yeah, and like reminder, so now it's been a year, right? So you've been together for a year?
In 2 weeks, it'll be our 1 year anniversary on
You're one
November
year.
13th.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well, first of all, congratulations. And I
Thank you.
hope you guys like stay just as cute and perfect as you are and that you figure out your own timeline because spoiler alert, it's probably going to change. And like there are many things
What?
you're like, it's not going to go
My
exactly how
life
I
plan?
planned. But know that we adore you. Everyone's obsessed with you. We're so happy for
Oh, thank
you.
you.
Did Olivia Munn ever acknowledge the compliments that you guys look alike?
I've not seen Olivia Munn acknowledge it, and I'm totally okay with it. She's actually the same like genetic makeup as me, like Irish, German, Cantonese, and so that's why it might look like that. But I still am like, I don't think so. I think she's obviously gorgeous, so I'm very complimented that people think I look so much like
Yeah,
her.
well, that's crazy that you're the same exact genetic makeup you said.
I'm pretty sure I'd have to. Last time I checked,
Last
but
time
that
I
was like a
checked
while ago.
her 23 and me, we were the same.
That was
Um,
creepy. I shouldn't have said genetic makeup. I should have said like ethnic background or
well,
something.
you are a scientist, so you're allowed to use those words on us.
Yeah, our chromosomes are like this for sure.
Well, you and Garrett need to get a matching like neck science tattoo. Did you plan one out?
Oh, what side?
Like you and Garrett need like a science tattoo together now.
He did talk about matching tattoos, and I was like, isn't that like the kiss of death? Like, I'm not like a superstitious person, but
No, you need something like something about molecules becoming an atom. I don't know. You know more than me, but you should do it. Both of you
we should.
sign
That's
tattoos.
cute. Yeah, he wanted to get a tattoo in like every city that we visited, and I was like, that's a lot of work and money, but like he talked about getting a sleeve and stuff, and I was like, you're just getting hotter and hotter.
Garrett.
Garrett.
No. So does he surprise you every day since you got together? Are you like learning new stuff all the time?
Yeah, I think you're constantly learning things about your partner, and like us too, just given the really weird circumstances of like now having all of these opportunities, like we're learning different interests and where we overlap. And every day is actually just, it's usually, I mean, 90% of the time, because relationships do take work and they're not perfect all the time, like are it's super fun. It's like living
Yeah.
with my best friend. We have a absolute blast of like doing anything. And yeah, I can't rave about him enough.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. And I know
Thank
you
you.
have to go. I don't want to take too much of your time saving the world and making everybody clean energy people. So thank you, Taylor, so much for coming on. I wish you guys the best of luck. And you've been really like such a pleasure to watch. So just know that.
Oh, thank you so much. And like, I love your podcast and like your Instagram. It's always hilarious. So when I saw like your story, I was just like, I was like, oh my God, fangirling like so hard.
You're
So
so
thank you
cute.
so much and
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Thank you. Hannah, what is up?
What is up? I'm so excited to talk to you.
Oh my God. I just watched the reunion, I have to say. First of all, listen, I'm a straightforward kind of gal, right? So I've been Team Hannah at moments during this season, and I've also
Yeah.
had moments where I was like, whoa, that was me. Like I
Yeah.
could see it all, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm also, for people that know me, mega hate when someone is jump piled on. Like when someone is jump piled on, my instinct like is always to see the other side, like the person that's being jump piled on,
Mm-hmm.
be like, wait, why is this happening? Let's take a moment, So that's why we do have a lot to talk about. As you
Yeah.
saw, what was it last week? Amy Schumer is a fan.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
So Amy Schumer, I'll tell the story. Amy Schumer calls me and I call back and I'm like, hey, what's up? And I think it's something like, like what's happening? Am I going to be in her next movie? Like what's going on? And she's like, we need to talk about Love is Blind. Like we need to talk about it right now. It's like, okay, what's up? She's like, did you see the last episode? And I was like, yeah, like tell me. And she had this idea for like a skit because she's like a comedian. So she thinks in like comedy. And she's
Yeah.
like, Hannah. And she went on this rant. She's like, I love that girl. And up until that point, like that week, there was a lot of negative noise,
Yeah.
And then Amy Schumer literally sees the other side. She calls me and she's like, she's so smart. She's so this. She's accepting all these like red flags about this guy. She tells it how it is. And she even said, I relate to that. Like I see myself in her. Like he has to handle her. She's going to lay it out. She's going to be herself. I love that. And then the joke was, which you could really see it in her head, was you took all this shit from Nick, accepted all this like red flag situation, and then you were like, he doesn't eat pussy. And then she was like, the way she said to me, and the one she was like, I don't think it's a coincidence that the next day, like, or whatever the time was, like she broke up with him. Like she didn't say it was because of that, but she's like, the joke is took it, doesn't have his own phone line, all this shit.
But you don't eat pussy? Yeah. Yeah.
So, first of all, very cool anecdote. Did that feel good to get some like celeb love on the internet?
Yeah. It honestly, like, it makes you just feel so much like it's okay. It's okay. Not everybody hates you. And like someone as cool as her, like, likes you. So, like, you'll be okay. Yeah. It felt really cool.
Did you slide into her DMs to say like thank you?
No, I'm too scared. I don't know how to do. I'm like, do I be like, you're the biggest fan? I'm like obsessed with you. You're so freaking cool. You're so freaking funny. Like I can't be like,
Yes.
hey, thank you. I
No,
should.
be you.
Yeah.
Be
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Be like, that
Let's
was
get
the
nervous.
coolest thing ever. Do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start because we have a lot to get into, Hannah. First of all, you do look amazing.
Thank
And
you.
I
I
have to
appreciate it.
ask, while I was watching the reunion, and also we know you're like the video you did to the Freaky Friday. What was it, the Freaky
yeah.
Friday sound? Well, no,
It was like no, it's from Uptown Girls.
Uptown Girls. Okay.
Yeah. I
So
think that one is.
so there was like a big change that you made, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in this reunion where obviously it comes up that Nick was talking about your looks not so kindly, I have to
Yeah.
ask if that had anything to do with changes that you made or feeling insecure, or are we not?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm a spiteful person, and like when someone like does me wrong, like I have to be like, oh, like that's what you think, like I'm gonna prove you wrong type of feeling, which is not a good quality to have, but it is a quality that I do have. And I was already on like the journey of like trying to lose weight and trying to like feel better, look better. And yeah, I think I heard the comment like back in May or June, and I was just like I would like stood up and I was like, it's time. Like, I don't know. But
Wait, you're
I did it.
saying, to translate, you're
Mhm.
saying you heard him say negative things about your looks and you're like, just wait how hot I'm gonna get.
Yes. I mean, I do want to do it for myself. Don't get me wrong. And like, it is because of me. Like, and I was already doing it. When I heard that, I was like, oh, you think I'm a grenade? I'm going to show you what a bombshell looks like. Like, that's what I thought. And like, not great, but I was just like, no, that's not going to be the narrative, which is bad. But yeah, it definitely like kicks me up to like, get on the treadmill.
Have you guys heard about the viral nap dress by Hill House Home? Because they invented it. So, this is the most flattering and comfortable fit that has a signature smocking. And it's so good that celebs like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, Anne Hathaway, Kalma, Mindy Kaling, and Paris Hilton have all been spotted in Hill House. One of my favorite things about Hill House dresses is they're just easy and versatile. It applies to all their stuff like bedding, robes, pajamas. I have a cute jacket from Hill House, a blouse that's super cool. I know you guys blouses, okay? Also, they have bathrobes and pajamas that are so soft and they're perfect for a getting ready moment. Their PJs are also made from that same cotton fabric as their baby onesies. So you can actually sleep like a baby. So Hill House has stuff for all ages. The brand also has baby and kids. If you want a matching moment or need a baby gift, they have the cutest tiny little robes, onesies, and PJs that you can actually monogram. And especially being postpartum and stuff, their dresses fit you pre and post pregnancy and truly have such a flexible fit that is so comfortable and so needed. You can get 15% off your order of $100 or more at hillhousehome.com with code NOTSKINNY15. Again, that's code NOTSKINNY15 for 15% off your order at hillhousehome. Okay, guys, so this is for anybody that has a baby at home or is expecting. I really wanted to tell you about Boron Camellia Tummy. Babies, I don't know if you know, cry a lot. A lot of the time, it could be discomfort in their belly. So, what can really help to have on hand is Boron Camellia, okay? Because they are really great for soothing gas and colic in babies. And it comes in one tummy taming formula. It also comes in a pre measured liquid dose. So, you just twist off the cap and pour it into your baby's mouth. And a lot of times, honestly, when I do this for Lenny, that act of like just putting those little drops in his mouth kind of takes him out of the craziness that he's in. And it really helps that there's no fumbling with measuring spoons or complicated mixtures. You just twist, squeeze, and go. And you know that it's a worry-free formula. There are also no known interactions with other medications or supplements. Boron Camellia brand has been trusted for over 30 years. Claims are based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated. Visit boronusa.com and use code NOTSKINNY at checkout for 20% off your purchase of any Camellia medicine. That's Boron, that's spelled BOIRON USA.com. Use code NOTSKINNY for 20% off your purchase of any Camellia tummy medicine. Again, that's NOTSKINNY at checkout for 20% off your purchase. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for the high society. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.5% APY on uninvested cash, receive unlimited 1% deposit bonuses, and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on an IRA account. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For product-specific disclosures, visit robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Wait, so when did you hear about this grenade comment? While you were still filming or after?
After, so Marissa's the one who originally had told me, and I guess everyone knew but me. And it was right after the reveal that he told all the guys about it. And so they had known for forever. And then Marissa finally told me like in May or June, because she just like, that's really hurtful comment. And she's really kind. And like me, I'm like, this is what they said. But to her, it's like, I don't want to tell you that's going to hurt your family.
Right.
Yeah. So she saved it. And then eventually she was like, you know, you said this to you, right? And I was like, wow.
Wait, this is after you broke up with him though.
Yeah.
Oh, so this was going on and you didn't even know. And
No,
so,
I had no clue. Yeah. Like no clue. Yeah.
but this is to me is really important in the reunion. And like I know there are a lot of people that are gonna be like, yeah, he said that, but Hannah was still like a bitch to him. No, this is really important. And the reason why is because this whole time we're watching and you are being, let's say, a little bit mean to him, and he's like, Hannah, I love you. You're the girl of my dreams. Oh, there are 2 dogs. There's one in the background and one next to you.
Can you hear her bark?
Her in the background?
Yeah.
I heard it. Oh, did she hear someone? My dog is like that too.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
I also learned that they don't stop when you tell them stop. So I've given up on that.
They don't, but I can keep trying.
So to me, that's a very big point because so we see on the show, we're like, oh, she's mean to him, and he's just taking it. He's just like, I love you. You're the perfect woman for me. And something isn't adding up, right? Because it takes 2 to tango. It doesn't make sense that one person is here and one person is here. We don't really see any explosive chemistry. He's not trying to French tongue you down the throat at every chance like some other couples.
Right.
So the reason why this is important is not only because it's like offensive and not nice, but I feel like the reason you brought it up is more so to like show that he was kind of not being honest. Like maybe he wasn't that into you. Maybe he was acting for the cameras because he wanted to be the most famous person on Love is Blind, which didn't work, by the way. Like what? So tell me your feelings on finding that note. Tell me if when you were in it with him, was the sexual chemistry there and we weren't seeing it because we weren't really seeing it? And what something, you're a smart girl. That no one can take away from you. You're smart, you're sharp. Is that why we're seeing you kind of pissed? Because like what he's saying and how he's acting isn't connecting, or you weren't thinking that he was being real or something?
Yeah, I was livid. And that's why you're seeing like I'm a bitch. I have hard times, but like I was like towards the end, I'm like trying to see, it's like you are not this like kind, like quiet person until the cameras turn on. And so I'm being like extra, and I shouldn't have done this. This is my fault, but I'm being like this extra, like, come on. Cause like towards the end, I'm like, be for real. Like, this is not, as soon as cameras cut, like you were not like sitting there like a quiet, kind boy and just like taking it, in which I should never done that. But that's why, is because like the sexual chemistry, there was none ever. Like, I'm not a big PDA person. And like when we were in Mexico, I feel like Marissa and other people were making comments like, you guys aren't touchy. It's like, because I'm just not touchy. Like, I'm just not. But in private, I'm very like loving, caring. And like, we weren't. Like, there wasn't even, not only like the sexual chemistry wasn't there, but like, just like holding each other's hand, or like when you're sitting watching TV, like being near each other.
So what was there? What was keeping it there? No sexual. You were saying he wasn't giving you back like intelligence wise. So what was keeping you there?
I think it's because like I really like when, I don't know, I feel like I'm just like in my mind, I was like so set on and like, okay, I chose this person. This is who I chose. Like I picked him. Like I love him. Like the things that he said and how like kind he was in the pods and like all this like emotional depth to him. Like I know it's there. And like, I know who he is. Like, this is not him. And I think I was just like, I really can't even tell you, because I feel like the whole entire time I was just like fighting with my intuition. I was so confused. Like my emotions were everywhere. And I just like didn't know what to do, really. Because like I really did love him. And like there was a lot of good qualities there in the beginning. And I think they just started to lose it. And I thought we were just like both just kind of like losing our mind a little bit. Like it's a lot. It's a lot in this experiment. So I think that's why I was like there for so long, because I didn't know, because he wasn't like telling me that he didn't like me, or he wasn't telling me that he wasn't into me, or like you could just feel it. And so like you start to think like you're crazy, kind of.
And what happened with the going down on you stuff? Like he said, I'm not into it. Like as much as you can tell us with feeling comfortable, but was he just like, I don't like doing it. I don't do that for girls.
So he actually, like, Ramses had told me, like, in the pods, they had a full-on conversation about it. Because, like, we're prompted for, like, questions about sex. Like, they want us to talk about it because it's important in relationships. And Ramses and him had a conversation like in the lounge about how like Nick doesn't eat pussy. Like that's not his thing. He doesn't understand it. And so he just doesn't. And when we were together, like obviously like there was just we were lacking in like that like sexualness, and like he did do it a couple times, but like that's not his thing. Like he wants to be pleasure to not give pleasure kind of. So yeah, no, I don't think I don't think it's just a me thing. Maybe it was, but I don't think it's just like his preference. He's not into that, or he hasn't grown up enough to be into that. Maybe, I don't know.
How old is Nick?
Nick is 29.
29. And you're 20 what?
I'm 27.
How are you so like you mentioned a few times you didn't really get into how you grew up, but you mentioned a few times that you've been super independent since you were younger. You've had to work, you've had to provide for yourself. Like, so what can you tell us more about your background and how and why that happened?
Yeah, so my family dynamic's a little bit different. And so I'm very close with my parents, but financially wise, so my dad's not my biological father. I was adopted when I was 4 by him because my dad was like deadbeat, like a drunk alcoholic. My mom left him type of situation. So then she married my father now. They had 2 more kids. It was just like let's not talk about it type of situation. So I have a little bit of daddy issues, but financially, when I turned 16, it was get a job. And so I played sports. So it was like, well, then every single Sunday you're working at Panera Bread or you're being a lifeguard during the summertime. So my parents paid for my bills when I was in high school, but it was like anytime you want to go to the movies or you wanted to have any fun, you pay for it. And then when I turned 18, I went to college, and it wasn't like my parents were like, no, we cut you off. We're never going to see you again. It was like, they cut me off financially. Like, you're an adult now, you've got this. And if, let's say I needed help and I was like, Mom, I'm really struggling, she'd be like, yeah, of course. But it was just like, they embedded me and my brother, who's also on his own now, like just to be financially stable and to be like an adult. And I think that's like what I was trying to say is like, they just don't help me financially. Like they would if I needed it, but like, I'm not like, I know all my bills and I know everything because like I've had to do it. And so that's like what the point I was trying to make. Like, I'm dramatic and I'm like, look, like my parents, like you were raised differently. It was just like,
did your mom like get offended that you made it sound like you were an orphan?
Yes.
She was like, what?
He was like, Hannah, we love you. And I was like, I know you do, but I don't know why I'm so dramatic. Like I didn't mean it like my parents cut me off, we don't speak. Like that's not how it meant.
You meant like you've had to support your lifestyle, pay for your own stuff, like once you left the house.
Yeah.
And I think Nick was more of like a mama's boy, spoiled.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I think it's wonderful if your parents like let you stay at home and your parents pay your bills. Like in this economy, it's crazy. It's amazing. But it was just like I was just trying to make a point that like we are at different, like even though I'm 2 years younger than you, I think we are at different like levels in like being ready for marriage or being like independent. I don't know.
No, and that makes total sense. And I think you're right. I mean, people were kind of saying like the amount of times you said like I'm direct, but I think because I do see you and I do get you, and I wouldn't be talking to you today if I thought you were like a mega bitch bad person. I don't think that you are. I think that Nick wasn't a fit, and I think that like there was just a disconnect because it's like, why are they like together? Why are they saying I love you when like obviously you're not in the same place? And like okay, tell me about finding that note with I want to be the most famous person. Like, what did everything click for you in that moment? Were you offended? Did you feel like you were being led on? What was going on?
No, I think it was just like an aha moment for me, kind of. But basically what had happened is we had broken up and my friends were in town and my mom was in town. And so I didn't find that note until literally right after we broke up, like what you see on TV. And we were packing up and my friends are like, what is this notebook? And they scroll through and they see it. And I feel like I'm getting a lot of shit about like, why would you go through it stuff? It's like, well, Nick went through my stuff to find my like 10 things I hate about you list. Like that wasn't left out for him. He went through that. And that was a private conversation that he went and brought up on camera immediately that we discussed wouldn't be on camera. So I don't really know how that's different, but when they had found the note and I didn't even talk about it. Like we even had like a post like final interview thing where we just go and we like tell her about the experience. I didn't even bring it up because I didn't want to. It was like a private manner, but I think I just got so annoyed because it's like, this is not the truth. But yeah, when I found that note, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, is this like, I just like, I laughed a little bit because I was like, what? Like, you want to be in the
Did he
Bachelor?
give that vibe though? Like, because he doesn't give that vibe when we first meet him on the show. He doesn't give someone who's on there to get followers and brand deals. Like, he doesn't seem that way.
Yeah, I think sometimes, yeah, no, he would be like on the phone because he does real estate like an hour a day, and
What do
he
you mean
was
an hour a day? Are you
because
throwing shade? Like it's
I'm
not a
not
lot.
trying to, but I think I just get annoyed because everyone's like, she's unemployed, how dare her? And it's like, no, I literally quit my job to be on the show and I got a job after. But like he would go and he would like film like a video for his Instagram reel at like and for like an hour and he would come back. So it's whatever. I digress. But
Wait, so he would go film like what, a new listing or something and then
yeah.
post it, and that was his thing for the day.
Yeah, or he would be on the phone all the time with like his clients. I don't know what they are, but and he'd be like, yeah, I'm on the new season. I love his blonde. My fiance's right here. Do you want to speak to her? Like, and he'd be like, yeah, I'm actually gonna be in the upcoming season of Love. Like he like, I was like, what? Like, I don't know. Like on the plane, even on the way back from Mexico, he like he didn't want to set with me, set like across, and he was like with some lady, and he just like there for like the 2 hours just talking to her about, yeah, we were in Love is Blind, blah blah blah. So
Yeah,
like,
it seemed like everyone at the reunion thought that was weird. It seemed like, by the way, everyone at the reunion seemed to have your back. Obviously, mostly Marissa. The only person I have to ask that seemed like they were kind of shady towards the situation was Garrett. Does Garrett not like you?
I don't know. I don't speak to Garrett really.
I know,
I did.
imagine Hannah and Garrett had like this secret friendship. That wouldn't really make sense. But he was kind of like, I'm done with this conversation. But also he said something to the like, Nick had so much patience. Like, I don't know how he did it. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand like maybe they have like a good friendship they never did, but maybe they do now. And Garrett was actually someone who told me to like he literally set me aside with Ramses one night. And he was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you with him? Like, why are you with him? Why are you dating him?" So, and I was like, "You're so right, Garrett," because Garrett was my number 3 when we were in the pods. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. So
Let's remind everyone who your number 2 was.
yeah.
So when you saw Leo on the season, were you like, oh my God, how was I into him? Like, what were your thoughts?
No, Leo was someone who didn't share anything about himself at all. I just knew that he was like Jewish and he was like taller. So like I imagined what he'd look like, and he is pretty similar to what I imagined, just I thought he would have like more of like a flow. But no, when I saw him, like I wasn't like shocked. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I imagined Leo would
No,
look
not
like.
looks wise, like the way he was about the money and the Rolex and what everyone's kind
He
of
didn't talk about money to me.
really. Okay. So
Yeah, like
you didn't get the ick from him.
no, like sometimes he would say like he's goofy and he said some like weird shit sometimes, and I'd be like, what? But no, like I never got the ick from Leo at all.
But when he broke up with you, that moment, I mean, he took accountability for it at the reunion. I don't know how genuine he seemed. Honestly, I have to be honest, like most of these guys fucking sucked, in my opinion, on this season. Like
Yeah.
everyone on that stage, I was like, Ramses, I hate you. Tyler, I don't know. I'm trying to give him grace. What is your thoughts on the Tyler situation? Are you
I don't know. Me and Ashley aren't super close, but I like love and respect Ashley so much. We talk here and there, but like she's a very private person and their relationship is like they keep to themselves. And so I knew about the whole kid situation thing, but then when I saw the internet stuff, I was like, whoa, like I didn't know it was like this insane. But I think they know the truth, and whatever that truth is, they know that.
Yeah.
And they seem happy and they're together. So like there's probably so much more that I don't know, but I don't go, I'm not like, actually I saw this on the internet, like let me know if it's true or not, because I'm like I'll let her be like.
Yeah.
So I think it's crazy, but like I don't think we really know everything. Like we don't know what she knows, we don't know what's true, what's not. So I don't know, it's a crazy situation.
I agree. And I have a quick one for you. Like I said, the guys this season slim pickings. If you had to do a marry fuck kill with Leo, Nick, and Steven,
Odd.
what would you do?
I would marry Leo, I'd fuck Steven, and I'd kill Nick.
You'd marry Leo. You'd fuck
Mm-hmm.
Steve. Okay, so we just have to kill Nick. That's what you're doing. Okay, but it's smart
Absolutely.
because Leo, you'd rather be with him forever. With Steven, you rather just get it over with because you never
Yes.
have to see him again.
Yep.
That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, you guys, let's take a minute and think about it. The girls got the short end this season. There were a lot of dudes with a lot of problems. Um, the girls were sticking up for each other. Let's talk about the friendship. So obviously you and Marissa super duper close. It
Mm-hmm.
sounds like by the way you're talking, like you were kind of close with Ramses because he was with Marissa, but did you turn on him now that he did that to your girl?
No, I love them. But like, I think Ramses is a wonderful human being. What he did to Marissa is absolutely wrong, and he shouldn't have went on the show if he wasn't ready. But at his core, he's a good person. And Marissa's my best friend, so I always take her side. But I do like Ramses. I don't dislike Ramses. And I think they even have a good relationship.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah.
But okay, but the thing with Ramses, when he told her she's too much, don't you think that my opinion is that she kind of gave that to him on a spoon, like earlier in their relationship? She was like, guys usually leave me for this. So to me, it felt like it was kind of like an excuse to break up with her, saying that you're too much thing. It exhausts me after a day. To me, it felt like he's not that into her. She kind of told him this is what guys usually do. So he kind of rode that train. What are your thoughts on it?
I think, yes. I think that Marissa, and she has said this and she told him this, that like she's the type of person that guys love her in the beginning, and then a couple months or whatever happens, and then they're not into her anymore. And she straight up told Ramses, like, I'm a lot, like they don't realize. And I think that, yes, I think she's got a big personality. Most women are a lot. Who freaking cares if we're a lot, you're not enough. But I don't think that's actually the true reason why he ended it with her. And I think that's why she struggled so much, is because she knows that's not the reason.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the real reason is I don't know if we'll like ever really know, or does he even know what it is? I don't know.
And you guys both, you and Marissa, said something on stage. She said, and I fucked that man after. So then we learned that she had sex with him after the breakup. And you said something more to off to the side, like, yeah, I also did. I wanted to see what it was like. So you're saying you met up with Nick after the show, after you broke up?
Yeah. So I think like maybe 2 weeks after the show, I invited him over because I'd found the list and like I had been ignoring him, and I was just like, let's have a conversation. Let's see what he's really like when it's not just like the cameras aren't in the room. We're done.
So you created contact. You did.
Well, he had blown me up, and then I was like, don't talk to me. And then I was like, actually come over.
Wait, what was he blowing you up about? What did he want?
The note. He wanted to make sure I didn't tell anyone about the note. Yeah.
So it wasn't like I miss you. Let's see if we can do it. Like he just wanted the note.
The only time he would reach out to me, it'd be like, Hannah, I love you so much. Like, you're so amazing. It'd be like, I know, Nick, but I just need to break. And he'd be like, but okay, but like, did you tell production about the note? Or it'd be like, but okay, like, what are you going to do about like our situation? Are you going to say like anything off camera? Like, he would never reach out like in a loving way. He would act like he would be, but then it would be like, okay, but like, what have you told everybody?
Wait, so did the first time you told anybody about the note was the reunion? So you didn't tell production then?
I told production right before the show came out, like we were speaking to them like back in like August.
But yeah, but we only found out about it now at the reunion.
Yes.
So he was probably, did he blow you up after to like be like, why'd you do that to me?
I had him blocked on everything for the past year. Yeah, I had to unblock him for when the show came out.
Oh, you had to unblock them so people wouldn't know?
Yeah, he's blocked again, but I had to block him for
Why
that
block?
reason, yeah.
Why go to that extent? Because you don't want him popping up for you? Like, what's the vibe?
Because like the amount of like, because he's not changed. Like I've gotten so many hey girly messages like of like, hey, Nick invited me over. I walked in, like he thinks he's Beyonce. He has like Love Is Blind playing in the background, and he's like telling them like yeah, and like that he was like, look, that's my ex, like it's all cap, like he was like, it's all cap, like
it's all cap, like it's all good. Oh my God, I can't.
Like it's all cap what he's saying and stuff. Like I've had like probably 5 girls message me, I guess, about it, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you guys. We're not
What do
together.
the girls want from you though? I didn't understand.
I think they're like, I guess they see maybe like the hate that I'm getting, and they're like, I think they feel bad that like they see like who he really is, and like that's not what he's putting forth for the show. And so I feel like they just feel, I don't know why even girls send Haley girlies. Is it like obligation to be like, I just want to let you know? I'm not sure.
I wanna talk about the hate for a second. Why is the internet taking it to the next level where it's like where you are getting this hate, like you're saying?
You know what I think it is? I think it's like, trust me, I know, like the delivery is insane. And like sometimes like I was so like, you're in a bad relationship, you're seeing the worst version of yourself. And like a lot of things I did weren't acceptable. But at the end of the day, I was just a
Like
bitch.
what? What do you think wasn't acceptable?
Um, probably the tone is the main thing I think that's really coming across as like bad, is like that I'm just like, this is this and this is this and this is this. Like you could have been a lot like kinder about it. But I think what people don't realize is I'm not a very passive person. And I think because he is so passive, people need to realize that being passive doesn't make someone kind. It just,
Yeah, you know that movie? I like to quote it. You know the movie, This Is 40, I think, or no, or maybe it's with Leslie Mann, and she's like, "You're mean. Just because you don't yell doesn't mean you're not mean. You're mean." She says that to him. And I like to look at that on the flip sometimes, like that's true, but also it's true that just because you yell doesn't mean you're mean. Sometimes you're just yelling. I mean, when you were telling him about the socks, like, yeah, it was a little belittling to be like, do you know what a motherfucking sock is, you fucking idiot? But at the same time, like, to me, I'm watching television. I want to be entertained. You are someone interesting to watch on TV. You're in that moment shocked that this guy has no idea about finances. So you took it to the next level in that moment.
yeah, a little dramatic, but yeah, I mean, it was, the thing is, I think would be, it's like, I'm not wrong. It's just I go about it in kind of like a wrong way. Like, you know what I mean?
But you are like taking accountability for that.
Yeah, I know everyone's like thinking like I'm not like empathetic, or they expect this apology. And I'm like, do you guys want me to do like, do you want me to shave my head and like pull a 2007 Britney for you guys to like feel like I'm like apologizing enough or I'm having a break? It's just like, I am sorry. Like, I'm very sorry for the way it came out and like the way I treated him. It was unkind and I'm working on it, but like that's how I felt in the moment. And like everything I said was the truth. Was it cruel? Yeah, but it was the truth. So
But also, you guys are kind of missing the side of like, and this is my opinion, is like you were being a little unkind because you were probably being thrown a lot of mixed signals where this guy is telling you I love you, but isn't really showing it. And it's probably, we found out at the end of the day, this guy wanted to be famous on the show. So like you were frustrated and that's how it was kind of coming out, you know? I feel like if you were probably in a healthy, happy, feeling like this guy is attracted to you, loves you, all this stuff. And we find out later, like he wasn't actually into you. I mean, if you're running around saying she's a grenade and then you're coming to her face saying, I love you, the I love you isn't sincere, because if you love somebody, you wouldn't say that about their appearance.
Yeah.
So take a moment, you guys, if you're listening here. I know that a lot of people also love you, right? Let's not get it wrong. Like the hate is always so much louder, but know that you do have, a lot of support. Are you feeling that as well, like in your DMs and on social?
Yeah, I get a lot of really kind DMs. I think a lot of people are scared to like comment stuff because they're just gonna get chewed apart. And my DMs are a lot nicer of a space than like my comments.
Oh my God. How are you doing though emotionally? You're a strong girl, but like how are you holding up with that? Was that hard?
At first it was difficult because I know I'm like a polarizing person, and I know like I'm not stupid. I didn't think like this is going to come out and I'm going to look like this hero. Like I knew like I was on my worst behavior. And so I expected it, but I guess you don't realize until it's you, like how crazy it is. Like the amount of like death threats I get, or like it's actually like, it's not that serious. I think that's my thing, is like at first it was hard. And then after you get like the same like you horrible, disgusting, fat, big, like 100 times, you're like, okay, like, I don't know. I just like let them be. I mean, I put myself on the internet and like I put myself on TV, like it's what you expect. I think we've gotten to a place in social media in the world where it's just like hate breeds like likes and it breeds comments and that's what people like. So I understand that's what it's like. Let's leave the meanest comment to see how many likes I get. And so I understand that. So I think for me, yes, it's hard. I wish that wouldn't be the reality, but it's like everyone thinks of the moral place where it's like, well, if she can give it, she's got to take it. And I'm like, whatever. So I just don't look at it. And I think I just let people have their own reality because the only people that really know what really happened is Nick and I. And if that's your opinion, that's okay. And so I just
and you guys, it's a fucking show. It's a
it's
dating
TV,
show.
yeah.
And she didn't kill him. She didn't kill his family, his pets. Like she literally was a little mean to someone who, you know, was. You make your own opinions about him, but he wasn't for you at the end of the day. Are you dating anybody right now?
No, I'm not. Actually, that breakup was like so rough that I was like no men for a year. So this past year I've been completely abstinent, no sex, no boyfriends, no dating.
Are you gonna get back in it now?
Yeah, I'm ready now. Yeah. It was just like, yeah, I was just like really trying to like figure myself out and like work on what I needed to. And I'm someone who never centers men. I'm very like I decenter them off. They're never at like my attention. In that experiment, I feel like I was centering a man so much that I had to like come back to myself and like ground myself a little bit.
And now you're ready. Are you gonna go on like dating apps and stuff?
Yeah, I haven't yet. I guess I will, but yeah, no, I will. I'm ready to date again. I'm just like had to give myself a break.
Love is Blind is so weird because it takes so long to come out that you just live your life like completely normally for that year, not knowing what the shitstorm awaits, you know?
That's the worst part. I think it's just like you're just like it's like kind of like it's like in your paralysis. It's like when I have a doctor's appointment at 1:00, I feel like I can't really do much in the morning because I'm preparing myself for like the doctor's appointment.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There was like a TikTok, like a meme about that or something I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when like the show takes a year to come out, I feel like the whole entire year I'm just in like this like
pause mode. Yeah.
Yeah. Where you're just like, what do I do? What do I not do? It's like even dating. A lot of people weren't dating, not just me. It's because it's like, how do you do this? Like, hey, like, I don't know. It's just a weird time. Yeah.
So when Nick said a few times that it was blown out of perspective, did you want to die because he should have said proportion? Like,
yeah. I mean, I imagine if I would have corrected him though, I probably people would be like,
no, when he said, I mean, he said it a few times and I was like, oh my God, like he is, you know, there were moments where it's like, Nick, hello, knock, knock, knock. Even at the reunion, he's like, it's blown out of perspective. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, that was funny to me. Did it look, his eyes were super red. Was he crying? At first I thought he was like crying and super emotional, but then I don't think he was.
He's probably stressed.
Stressed, huh?
Yeah. He probably didn't know what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Do you think the tide is going to turn a little bit when everybody watches the reunion? Are you hoping that it does?
It didn't.
It didn't.
No. And that's okay. I think what people are like thinking is like, I was trying to get like my lick back. Like this, I was like, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to air all this and you're going to change. It's like, it's not what it is. I'm not trying to be like, it's Nick versus Hannah, or it's like, I want everyone to love me. It's just like, no, I just want you to know the truth, and whether you believe me or you don't like me, that's okay. But this is the reality.
So what's next, Hannah? Would you do another show? Would you do fucking Traitor is the Perfect Couple? Like, are you done with reality TV? What's the vibe?
No, I would definitely do it. I have no clue what's next. If that comes away, that's awesome. Traitors is a fantastic show. I love watching that. But like, I think I'm just like, I've got a full-time job. Like I'm working. I don't know if reality TV is coming up or social media or whatever, but I'm just like playing it day by day because it's a lot.
It's a lot. Thank you, Hannah, for coming on, and I wish you the best. And you look great, and I can't wait for you to get into the dating world.
Yeah, I'm excited. That'll be maybe I'll start like doing like little story times of like going on a date, embarrass myself. Yeah.
Just be careful what you say.
I'm learning.
I'm learning. Okay, wait. One last question I wanted to ask you. Katie, is she still your BFF?
Yeah, we're still friends. Yes.
Okay. Do you think she explored going on a date with Nick?
That's a good question. I don't know. We haven't we've been really good friends, but we haven't talked after the reunion. She hasn't spoke too much. So maybe.
What do you think? What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe just she needs space. I guess she was really upset about that comment that I made. I'm not really sure. I think we're gonna hang out next week. I don't know, and see what's going on, but I don't know.
Well, there was a moment, I'll tell you, when you called her your best friend 18,000 times when you were drunk after the flappers thing. That was a moment where I was like, is Hannah one of those girls that calls everyone their best friend? You know, because you were like, she's my best friend. I know you were drunk, so it's obviously exaggerated.
Yeah.
But you were like, she's my best friend in the whole world. Like, I can't believe you did that. And I was like, wait, are they actually best friends?
We're really, really, really close. Were we best friends in the whole wide world and I had known for 2 weeks? No, but it was like one of those situations where you go to the bathroom, you're like, oh my God, I met Sarah in the
Right.
bathroom and she's my best friend. Like, I feel
Right.
like I was giving that off. Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy, but
So you're saying after the
whatever.
reunion, she needed some time.
Yes.
Okay, well, keep us posted on that.